It is the second GBM of fall semester. It is September 22nd, 2020. Thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate you all and your time and your energy. So if you weren't here last meeting, we're going to just run through all the same like FWIB things again. So yeah, what is FWIB? Our mission is that we're a professional development org that gives women of all backgrounds the tools to succeed and break down barriers in college and beyond that. And our pillars are community, personal development, and leadership. So one of the things that you can do is join a committee, and that just allows you to be a little bit more involved in our org and the decisions that we make and becoming a little bit closer to one of the different sectors of what we do. And so we have marketing committee, finance committee, and community service committee. And all of those meetings are just 15 minutes before the general body meeting at this same Zoom link. So if one day you just show up a little bit early, that's totally fine. You can check out a committee and see what we're doing. Chair applications are now open. They opened last Tuesday night after our general body meeting. And these are the chair positions that are open right now. It's finance committee chair, marketing committee chair, community service committee chair, and then we also have a professional development chair and an internal development chair. So that's the link to the application at the bottom there if you want to copy it. Otherwise, it's in our Facebook group. And on the application, there's a little bit more information about what each position entails. And those will close next Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. And if you have any questions about the chair positions, feel free to ask the respective vice president or director that matches the chair position, and that way you can find out a little bit more information. Take it away, Sweta.
Okay, so hello, my name is Sweta and I'm secretary. So to go over the point system again, for every GBM and FWIB event you attend, you get points for going. And they're important if you plan on running for a chair position, for e-board, and they carry over for this semester. And if you have or you are buying a shirt, it's 4 points. And there are multiple ways to like claim your points if you buy or have a shirt. So we have on Gator Ready, there's a t-shirt task, which you can just claim, and you send a picture of either your shirt or the Venmo kind of receipt thing, or there's a Google form. So if you have or buy a shirt, make sure you fill one of those out.
Hi everyone. So this month's value is community. And last meeting I mentioned a few social benefits that come from community, but there are actually a lot of professional benefits as well. A strong community is really important in your professional life because it allows you to build connections with other people that have similar interests as you, provides you with a group of individuals that you can rely on when you have questions or need help in your role or job or whatever. And it is extremely, extremely important in terms of networking.
So if you want to continue to stay connected with us, I highly recommend that you join the group me using that QR code. It's just a group chat with all of us where you can ask about classes, advice, I don't know, just chat with us if you'd like. And that over there is our Instagram. Give us a follow. Definitely, we post a lot about any event we have going on, from community service to professional development to socials and just GBMs. And there's also the link tree, like Jessica said in the chat, that includes all the applications and forms, everything grouped together, because I know sometimes looking for the separate posts on Facebook might be a little confusing for you. You can find it easily there. So give us a follow and join our group chat.
We also have our Facebook group and our Facebook page, which you could request to join as you scan this QR code. And we also have our website as well, which we continuously try to update and provide as much information to you guys as we can. Particularly in our Facebook group, we have all the details for events and GBMs, for example, the one today with the Zoom links and all the details listed. as well as our community service events and our socials. Everything's pretty much listed on our Facebook group, and as well as our GBM recordings now, we're adding them to our website in case you guys miss any GBMs and want to go back and hear some information again.
Hi guys, so just some general announcements. For those of you guys who don't know, Study Edge is a local business here in Gainesville and they provide tutoring services. And so FWIB is actually partners with Study Edge in terms that we have fundraising benefits if you guys do end up getting a membership. So if you use the code FWIB for Study Edge, 5% of the purchases goes to FWIB at no additional purchase. And then also something that's really valuable this year is that we're gonna really be trying to emphasize our LinkedIn presence. And so if you use that QR code, you can follow us, and all the workshop information in terms of if you aren't able to come one day, all that slide deck will be posted there so you guys have that information, or if you just wanna reference it afterwards.
Okay, we have really cute member shirts. They are super soft and they're $15. You can Venmo Teresa, and that's her Venmo on the screen. You also can earn points for owning a t-shirt and wearing them to all of our GBMs. So instead, I know last time I was talking about doing member shirt pickup, but I'm just gonna do delivery now. It just seems easier and honestly easier for you guys as well. So they're going to be every Thursday after every meeting from 4 to 6, and all the dates are right there. You can take a picture of it. And our next delivery, is going to be this Thursday, the 24th, from 4 to 6. I'm going to have a Google form for you guys to fill out on Facebook, and I'm also going to post it into the chat. So yeah, buy some shirts.
Okay, so up next, I'm going to talk about our upcoming community service events. So next week, Monday, we are having a Zooniverse research event. So essentially what we're gonna be doing is helping researchers work on different tasks, like organizing pictures or counting things that they captured. In other words, just like helping organize their data. All of this is going to be through Zoom, and it's going to be from 5 to 5:45 next Monday. Next, we're going to have a transcribing event sometime early October. We're going to be working with the Smithsonian Museum, helping transcribe written historical documents and biodiversity data. All of this is just to make all this data more accessible for people to look up or to read online. And for both of these, the Zoom links are going to be on the Facebook event page. And you will also need to make an account. It's absolutely free, but you do need the account just so they can track, who's volunteering. And lastly, more involved with FWIB, help with planning other community service events, make sure to join the Community Service Committee. As Teresa mentioned, we meet 15 minutes before the GBM.
So last week we had talked about how the name tag fundraiser is open again. And so that form closes on the 29th, which is next Tuesday. And so all that payment information is on the form, everything you need to know. If I don't know, for some reason I always have them, but if you want to look, you can see that that's one of them. And then that's the blue version. So if you're interested, they're $10 and they're really cute and just cool for you to have. And then I can actually post that link in the chat after a little bit. And then the time management workshop is going to be on October 1st from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And it's going to be really interesting to see all this because I think with us being virtual, it's really going to be a valuable workshop to know how you can manage your time effectively. So that information will be on Facebook.
All right, hello. Mentor-mentee applications officially open today after the meeting. I'm dropping the links in the chat. Mentee application is the first link, mentor application is the second link. Apply, it's a fun time. If you have any questions, I will be here after the meeting if you want to speak to me directly. If you have any particular questions. So yeah, the links are in the chat. Also gonna be on the Facebook page after the meeting. So with that, welcome to today's FWIBtivity. Now, our pillar for this month is, in fact, community service. So it's kind of hard to do a community service event virtually in 10 minutes. So instead, I'm also going to drop in the chat lots of links in the chat today. a place where you can go and see virtual community service opportunities that UF has provided if you're interested. But today's activity is called Who Is It? We are going to separate into breakout rooms again like last week. And this week what you're going to do is private message the e-board member in your breakout room a fun fact about yourself. The e-board member will then select some fun facts to read aloud, and then you guys have to guess whose fun fact it is. So it should be a fun time, more bonding. Like I said, community service in the chat. But yes, Teresa will separate us into 8 breakout rooms now.
Yes, everyone should be getting a notification right now. Go ahead and head over.
Okay, so today's corporate speaker is going to be Raymond James. We have recruiter Amber here, so give her a warm welcome as she takes over.
Hi, Olivia. Thank you for that. And hello, ladies. Welcome to recruiting season. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit more about Raymond James. I know I spoke with a lot of you today during the career fair, so glad to see a lot of your faces again. I'll share a little bit with you about Raymond James, who we are, talk to you some about our internship and recent graduate opportunities that we have available. We're currently sourcing for summer 2021. And then I just want to leave you with some great tips and tricks, you know, as we're really entering into this digital interviewing space, ways that you can really stand out and prepare yourselves. I think this is sort of like nothing we've ever experienced before, doing a whole career fair without ever having to shake anyone's hand. I think that's so unprecedented. So just some ways that you can really navigate this space as you go out there and land your opportunities. I know by now you're probably having Zoom fatigue, but if you could just hold out for one more, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go through this PowerPoint presentation. And then I will leave the last few minutes open for some Q&A. Happy to answer any questions that you have. Really quick though, before I get started, can I just get a thumbs up if you all can hear me okay? I've been having some audio issues before. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's go share screen. No matter how many times I do this, it's like still trying to find it. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. And then, let's see, one more thumbs up if it looks like I'm in presentation mode. Okay, perfect. So where will you go from here? So again, my name is Amber Grace. I'm the talent advisor for Raymond James. In my role, I build strategic partnerships with top universities such as UF to attract diverse and ambitious talent like yourselves, as well as provide students with life-changing internships and postgraduate careers. So in terms of where it all began, we started in 1962 at a small little boutique office in downtown St. Pete. That is currently our current corporate offices, our headquarters. We're still located in St. Pete, but we've evolved much more from our little downtown office. So at our corporate offices, we have over 8 different buildings. I think you can see about 3 of them from this photo, but over 8 different buildings. 5,000 associates that sit just at our corporate offices, 13,000 associates across the U.S. And so we pride ourselves on being what we say, you know, an alternative to Wall Street. And so we are on Wall Street. We have many investment bankers that sit on Wall Street, but and one way where we really differ is that we are based here in Florida. So doing everything that Wall Street does, but we have better weather. Okay, so a little bit of how we're broken down. In terms of our wealth management space, we have over 8,000 financial advisors. They sit all across the country. 875 billion in total client assets. That's huge. And then this number right here, which is really important, 130 consecutive quarters of profitability. Does anybody want to ask me what happened 131 quarters ago? I thought you never asked. So 131 quarters ago, it was 1987, Black Monday, the stock market crashed, trading desks went down, everything went down. A lot of companies decided to not answer clients' calls. They weren't picking up the phones anymore because they didn't have computers or anything that they could look in order to make those trades in terms of commodities and prices. So they just stopped taking calls. At Raymond James, we decided that it was more beneficial that we continue to pick up the phone for our clients. And even though we didn't have computers in order to verify any information, we had pens and we had paper. And so what we did was we were taking our clients' calls and writing down those trades on paper. And so when the stock market went back up, when computers and everything were working again, we took a bit of a hit that day, but we decided that it was more important that we continue to open that line of communication to our clients. It wasn't a huge hit, and since then we've been profitable ever since. That means we've weathered the 2007-2008 financial crisis. We're weathering COVID. So in terms of, no matter what company you're looking to get into, as you're looking at internships and you're looking at graduation and what you want to do after you work, it's important to understand the financial and fiscal stability of the companies that you're looking at. So definitely something to look into as you're going out there and navigating this space. So in terms of our core businesses, 69% of how we generate revenue is coming from our private client group, or PCG as we call it. And so those, over 8,000 advisors, they are within that PCG group. We also have the Raymond James Bank. Interesting thing about the Raymond James Bank, we only have one location. It's at our corporate offices, but because of the amount of our assets, we are actually the largest bank in Florida. We also have our asset management services as well as capital markets. That's where you're going to find global equities, investment banking, fixed income, equity research, all of those sexy titles that everybody always goes out for. So in terms of some other departments within Raymond James, of course, we're a financial services firm, but it takes a village. So we have technology, IT. I always say that a financial services firm is really just an IT company. IT is actually one of our largest departments within Raymond James. I say it really affords us the space to really be innovative in terms of our technology, being that we're not on Wall Street. We do a lot to really advance our technology to support our financial advisors as well as our clients. We also have our own in-house marketing department. Marketing really serves to support the marketing strategies for our business units as well as our financial advisors. So our FAs really operate entrepreneurially. And so our marketing department works with each of those financial advisors to really come up with their marketing strategy, because what an FA might be doing for clients in New York is different than what a financial advisor is doing to attract clients in Texas. And so our marketing department really works to serve each of our different visions for our financial advisors. We have wealth solutions, practice management, accounting and internal audit, risk management, and operations. And so I mentioned these departments as well as our business units on the previous slide because we have internships and recent graduate opportunities in each of these different areas. So really quickly, I want to go over some of our diversity and inclusion initiatives. I know diversity and inclusion is just a really sexy word because of the times that we're in right now. And at Raymond James, we have lots of different things going on. We have our diversity and inclusion committees all across the firm. But something really important that I want to point out is our associate inclusion networks. And so we have 5 of them at Raymond James. We have Emerge, which is our young professionals network. And so if you identify as a young professional and you're looking for mentorship opportunities throughout the firm, or just a way to connect with other young professionals. We do different happy hours back when we could gather in person, but so many different opportunities with the Emerge Network. It's a really great opportunity for young professionals joining our firm to really converge together and work together in order to navigate the rest of your way throughout your career. We have Mosaic, which is our multicultural inclusion network. We have Pride, which is our LGBTQ plus inclusion network, Valor, which supports veterans and their families. One of my favorite is WIN, our Women's Inclusion Network. At Raymond James, we understand that finance can be a very male-dominated industry, and so Raymond James does a lot to support the advancement of their women within the firm. And so if that is something that's important to you, definitely joining WIN would be beneficial. Lots of powerful women at Raymond James that just give their time to make sure that they are advancing and supporting the next generation of women at the firm. So I want to really talk to you about our recent graduate opportunity. It's called the Accelerated Development Program, or ADP. I specifically want to speak to our opportunities within finance. So if you look there on the right-hand side of the screen, you see that there are 4 main tracks within ADP Finance. You have sales and trading, financial analysis and accounting, investment research consulting, and wealth management. Yes, that's all one track. And then you also have risk management. And so what ADP really is, it's a 19-month rotational development program. And so your first month of the program, you really spend training, onboarding, developing, taking different training and development opportunities, really just learning all the different tools and resources that you need in order to be successful throughout the rest of the program. So you really get 1 full month of training before embarking on this program. From there, you would then enter into a rotation between 3 different departments, spanning 6 months within each department for a total of 18 months. And so it's a really great opportunity. If you select one of these tracks, you really just have to figure out, where would you want to start your career? Are you interested in sales and trading? Are you interested in risk management? And then from there, getting to experience the various departments within that track, I think is just invaluable. It's not only important to identify what it is that you want to do in a career, but it's also important to identify what you don't want to do. You don't want to get into a career that you thought was going to be great or glamorous, and now you're really kind of stuck, in that position until you can make a different move, when you can really try out these different departments. After you emerge from the ADP program, you then go into your full-time non-rotational role. And how that position is decided is based on what you're interested in. So, having that time within those various departments, as well as where the need is within our firm. And that's how you would decide where you go after ADP. ADP is a full-time salaried position. Our 2020 cohort, they were able to start virtually. We're hoping by 2021 that we are able to be in person again. But even if we're not able to be in person, we know that we will start virtually once more. So in terms of some of the other training and development opportunities of ADP, all throughout the program, you were in this program with other ADP analysts. They have opportunities to attend lunch and learns with our C-level executives. They have chats with our CEO, Paul Riley, our CFO, Paul Shukri, our COO, Emma Breton, and it's just a really great opportunity to get to network up. You'll be on a Zoom call just like this with the CEO, able to ask him questions and engage with him. And I think that's just not an experience that you're going to find at a lot of other organizations. So we always say that ADP has 3 levels of support. You have your program manager. Her name is Tammy Jackson. She really works with you to identify your departments. Then you have a mentor that you're paired with. So this is like outside of your work and your daily objectives. This person is really investing in you, investing in your time and your development throughout the program, and making sure that you're progressing. And then within each of those different departments that you rotate out of, you would have your own individual supervisor. So these are just some of our past ADPs in investment research, risk management, financial analysis, and accounting. So in terms of qualifications, a major in a business field, that is something that we look for. We look for on-campus involvement. I think all of you on this call, being involved in women in business, that definitely checks that box. Looking for some of your other leadership opportunity or roles. So think through some of your internships or work experiences or other club involvement, whether it's on campus or off campus. Maybe you've done some volunteerism. I would say just general knowledge of financial services. I always say, technical skills we can teach, but you do need to have some sort of foundational financial services knowledge. Strong GPA, just kind of rule of thumb, we look for a 3.0 or higher. If your GPA falls below that, don't let that deter you from applying to the opportunity. I'm always willing to have a conversation with anyone in terms of their GPA and what you're doing to perfect that before graduation. Analytical, quantitative skills, as well as an understanding of your own strengths and areas for develop. It is a development program. So then I want to talk to you a little bit about our internship development program. We have a 10-week summer internship program. This summer, we're going to get started, I want to say like the week of May 25th, and then we'll go all the way through the end of July 31st. It is a competitively paid internship program for those who need relocation assistance. If you need to, temporarily relocate for the internship program, which takes place in St. Pete, we do provide housing stipends. Similarly to the ADP program, different lunch and learn objectives with the C-level executives we have what's called our fireside chat. So again, getting that one-on-one interaction with our C-suite executives, professional development opportunities. We do resume writing, how to interview. If you're a rising senior at the time of the internship program, you'll actually get first dibs to interview for full-time opportunities ahead of our larger cohort. So definitely some great opportunities within our internship program. This past summer 2020, we hosted about 150 interns across the country virtually. So that's really great. I know some folks had their internships canceled, or you might have had friends that had their internships canceled. I'm very proud of myself and my team that we were able to execute our internship program. And so I know no matter what space we find ourselves during summer 2021, no matter if it's in person or virtual, we know we will be able to execute it. So these are just some of the areas where we have internship opportunities. If they're not currently posted, it will be coming. In terms of how our internship postings work, it's on a rolling basis. I could have a hiring manager come up to me next week and say, Amber, I want to hire 2 interns for this area. So definitely, if you don't see something that's currently posted online, continue to check back week to week. They're always going to come up. I think there might be 20 positions currently posted, but we had 150 interns last summer, so definitely keep checking back week to week. So really quick, I want to go over some interviewing skills and just talk a little bit about our interview process at Raymond James. So the first step is just to apply. You just have to apply to the program. I'm not going to be able to see you, review you, go over your resume or anything unless I see that application come through. If you move on to the next step of the process, you will be given a hire view. This is whether it's for ADP or an internship. Our hire view is the next step of our hiring process. And so what a hire view is, it's a digital interviewing platform. You're going to see my face pop up. I'm going to ask you a set of pre-recorded questions, right? Tell me about yourself. Tell me about a time. When did you make an impact? Already understanding that you're going to be asked these sort of questions, you can already start to prepare yourself for these responses. You want to kind of think, if a hiring manager is watching this, what do I want them to walk away with knowing about me? A time that I made an impact, a time that I enacted change, a time when I thought outside the box. So going through and starting to organize your thoughts will help to ensure that as you take that hire view, your answers and your responses are coming off clear, concise. You're able to really just put your best foot forward for that hire view. Treat that hire view as you would an in-person interview, professionally dressed. A nice blouse, a nice, chunky jewelry, necklace, whatever, just very professional. Our hiring managers really look at that to see that you are taking this opportunity seriously. And I would say be able to tell us your why. You're going to be asked, why did you choose the major that you chose? So really just kind of doing some self-reflection, thinking of your story. If you're studying finance, maybe your dad was in finance. Maybe finances wasn't widely talked about in your household, so you wanted to study finance in order to, provide a better future for yourself. Whatever it is that's meaningful to you, just think through your story and have a story to tell. So ask questions, and this is whether you're interviewing with Raymond James or anywhere else. Your recruiter is really there to ensure that you are successful through the hiring process. And especially in this digital space, you're going to want to ask, what platform am I going to be interviewing on? Am I going to have an opportunity to share my screen? Maybe there's a project that you're going to want to work through. Just ask many questions so that you're not going into an interview blind and you just know the lay of the land. And you're really able to go into that interview and just command the room, the Zoom room. And then I would say in terms of the next steps of the interview process with Raymond James, after you kill that hire view, you could be invited to the final round of interview. For ADP, those final rounds of interviews are going to take place October 15th and 16th. So you can see we're a little bit less than a month away if you're interested in ADP. So definitely want to go ahead and apply now. That's an opportunity that you're interested in. But for our internship programs, those final rounds will also be on a rolling basis, but you could definitely receive a hire view within the upcoming weeks. I'd say the last one is the most important. There's so many of you. You will hear back from me, but just be patient with me. I have to get through a lot, so just wait in terms of next steps, but everyone will hear from me. So I want to wrap up there. I really just want to leave some time in terms of any questions that anyone may have, or just anything you want to talk about. It might not be specific to Raymond James. Maybe it's just any tips or tricks or anything you want to know. I'm going to go in here and pop into the chat. And Olivia, if you want to help me kind of navigate this space, that would be great. But the floor is yours, ladies.
Yeah, so if anyone has a question, use the little raise hand tool. I put something in the chat for how to get there, or you can just drop your question in the chat, whatever you want. Okay, Diana.
Looks like Diana.
Hi, nice to meet you, Amber. You had a beautiful presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you belong to any of your firm's inclusion programs, and if you do, how that has benefited you in your company?
Yeah, so I belong to Mosaic, and I belong to WIN. I attribute, being where I am today just to a lot of, powerful women that have been able to help me just navigate, the corporate career space. And so I've found a lot of opportunities through WIN, which is the Women's Inclusion Network. And just throughout this whole COVID space, WIN has provided different mental health initiatives and different training and development initiatives that women can take, during their downtime when they're not working. So the way that space looks like right now is a little bit different, being that we are virtual, but normally when we're in person, we do different lunch and learns with executives from across the firm. And this is in both spaces between Mosaic and WIN. So I've had so many different experiences, but definitely both are beneficial. With Mosaic, they're currently preparing for a virtual Diwali. And Diwali, I'm probably going to butcher this, but it's like a celebration of light in Indian culture. And so last year we were able to have it in person. This fall we're going to do it virtually. And so I'm just interested to see, the way that's going to come about. But being that they're still able to educate us on, different multicultural initiatives all around the world is really amazing as well. So they both operate a little bit differently now that we're in this virtual space, but I'm definitely finding value in the networks that I'm a part of. And I would say for inclusion networks, you don't have to identify with any virtue in order to be a part of them. You just have to find yourself, being an ally for the groups that are represented.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. I saw another raised hand. I just can't remember where it was. Can you do it one more time?
It looks like there's also a bunch of questions in the chat, starting with Haley. So if you just want to go right through all those.
Perfect. Okay. What is the link to apply for internships? Great question, Haley. I am going to pop that link here into our chat. And then while I get that link, Olivia, if you want to read me the next question, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's this is a few questions that have been asked actually. Are the internships only for rising seniors, or is it dependent on the position? And going off of that, do you have any opportunities for underclassmen?
So internships are open to sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and we even get some master's students in our internships. We don't have opportunities for freshmen, but even being a freshman, still continue to engage your recruiters. A lot of internships start, your sophomore year, but you think the recruiters that you see coming onto your campus are going to be the same ones that come year over year. You're going to see them in the fall. You're going to see them in the spring. Start to build that relationship with them, because you know that when it is time for you to take that internship, they're going to be like, you know what, such and such Sally came and saw me this time, she came and saw me this time, that's someone who I would want to offer an internship to. So don't discredit your ability to network. If you're in your freshman year, continue to engage in platforms like this, continue to go out to those career fairs. You're only going to set yourself up for success. I did go ahead and plop that chat into, oh, you know what, it looks like I sent it to you privately, Olivia. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. There we go. So you all can see that link is going to take you to all of our student and recent graduate opportunities. So that is what you will need. Let's see. So next one, our internship. Okay, we got that one. It's a summer internship design. Okay, got that. What's the main thing applicants for internships struggle with in terms of like behavioral questions or technical questions? I would say the main thing that I see applicants struggling with is just not preparing. I feel like if you just prepare, just take a minute to, jot down your thoughts. You understand you know these things in your head, but writing it out will really help you. Grab one of your friends and ask them to, help you interview, help you really perfect your interview skills. I think you have to understand that right now we're in a time where there are more candidates out there than there are job opportunities. So understand just the competitive space that you find yourself in. And I think understanding that will help applicants take the interview process a bit more seriously. Also, while we're in this digital space, really allowing your personality to come through. I think being behind a screen, we sometimes are like, and we just kind of like lose that sort of personality or things that we will be able to show in person because we can't walk up and give that handshake and make that eye contact. But that's just something that you have to be cognizant of and making sure that you're really allowing your personality to shine through behind a screen. So those are just some little quick tips and tricks. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Let's see. For the internship, what year would you have to be? Okay, yep, sophomores, juniors, seniors, and even master students. What skills do interns gain from their experience at Raymond James? I mean, we hope you're gaining soft skills. We hope you're gaining technical skills. Our internship program is not a go get your coffee type of internship, especially this past summer. You couldn't go get coffee, but you are working directly with your supervisor. You're engaged in all the meetings that they're engaged in. You're working on all the projects that they're working on. So this is really a hands-on opportunity. That's why it was so important for us to not cancel our internship this past summer, because we wanted to make sure that we were providing interns with that hands-on experience in order to be competitive for this, fall recruiting space. So I would say your internship is also what you make of it. There's different opportunities to network across. Even if you're in one area, you have the opportunity to go connect with an SVP in another area. I mean, the sky is really the limit for you. It just all depends on, how much you take yourself up on that opportunity. Let's see. Just to clarify, the internships are only based in St. Pete. Oh, that's a great question. So yes, majority of the positions that I'm recruiting for are at our corporate offices in St. Pete. I will say we have like these sort of satellite headquarters in Memphis, and then we also have branches all throughout the country. I don't do any branch recruiting. That's for anyone who would possibly be interested in a career as a financial advisor. But branches do have internships. You would just have to connect with that branch directly. So let's say there's a Raymond James a Raymond James branch in Gainesville that you want to do an internship at. Just finding a way to connect with that branch directly in order to make your internship experiences known. But in terms of the positions that I'm recruiting for, they are primarily at the home office, as well as the ADP program that's at the home office as well. But that was a great question. Are there any internship opportunity? Oh, we got that one. Let's see. Oh.
I think it looks like we have answered all of the questions.
Okay, perfect.
Does
it looks like we have one more from Teresa. Can I get that one in before we end?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. It says, and if you're not a business major, I think
it wasn't a question. It was just a suggestion for those of us that aren't business majors in the club.
Yes, and if you aren't a business major, there's other opportunities outside of business. I had an HR intern last year. We have plenty of marketing interns, so definitely other opportunities. Of course, we're a financial services firm, so in my 15 minutes, that's where I wanted to spend the majority of my time. But definitely, if you're not a business major, we can connect on other opportunities.
Okay, amazing. Right. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to have Amber close out. We're going to do just kind of the final things that we have for FWIB. Then what's going to happen, if anyone has any questions, raise your hand, and then Amber's going to be able to stay after for a couple of minutes. If anyone wants a little face-to-face time with her, trust me, it's a great opportunity to take advantage of it if you can. And then Teresa, if you want to take back over, that's great.
Amazing. So everyone, I'm going to launch a poll at you. Please answer the questions. I'll just leave it up until most of us have voted. We just want to gauge this information from you all because we're planning on doing some fun new women empowerment based shirts. So they won't have like FWIB branding on them. It'll just be very like women supporting women, and we're working out all of the kinks of that now. So we just want to gauge from everyone what your thoughts are. And in the meantime, I'll also share my screen for if you're done with the poll, feel free to scan our QR code. This is for our feedback form because we want to know your thoughts. We want to know where your head's at with all of the events and meetings and everything that we're putting on for you all lately. So fill that out after this meeting is done. Let us know your thoughts. We would greatly appreciate it. And I'm just going to wait a little bit longer, waiting on a couple of people for the poll. Don't feel bad saying no. I can't see who's responding yes or no. So don't feel like you'll offend me because you won't.
Teresa, I don't know if I'm supposed to see your screen, but I can't. I don't know if anyone else is having that problem. I can just see. There we go. That's good now.
Okay, cool. I think it paused it.
Somebody said in the chat that they're interested in a t-shirt, but they're not in Gainesville.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to write down that point because we are going to work on shipping costs and seeing what it'll be like to get people who aren't in Gainesville their shirts as well. Same.
Okay, so for every meeting, we would always love to hear your feedback and your input from all of our members. We really value your opinions and finding more ways to better ourselves and our meetings and all of our events. So if you scan the QR code right here, it takes you to a feedback form that we have after every event or meeting. And we would really appreciate your honest opinion and ways that we could really make our events better for you guys, because it's really geared towards our members and what you guys personally want for FWIB.
Yes, 100%. So I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank Amber for her presentation. It was amazing. We love Raymond James around these parts. And our next meeting is not September 22nd. That's a little bit of a typo. It's September 20. Nope, it's October 3rd. So
wait, 3rd? Is it? I think it's the 6th.
It's the
Yeah,
6th. I think it's in my calendar.
Sorry. It's October 6th. So join us then. You can come a little early for committee meetings if you'd like. And yeah, feel free to stay if you have questions for Amber or for any of us, because we will stay. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Amber.